The expectation is what? Nothing. Exactly. I didn't ask what you like. I said, which is more accurate? There's a lot out there we don't know. Recently, I got hit up by, which is a management company. It was a very informative, like educational and like important meeting to have, whether anything comes from it or not. I learned definitely some takeaways. Dude, tactical empathy is always going to be the game. I say it all the time, and it was more abundant than ever. It's all about people. The expectation is what? Nothing. Exactly. There is no expectation, but we're still going to do the best work that we can. That's who we are. If something happens, amazing. If not, I have no doubt that if I just don't stop, and if you guys don't stop, it's gonna work.
As you all know, it's been my first official week. It's been so exciting getting to know everybody. And yes, I have definitely learned a lot. So it was hard to just pick one thing. But I think the biggest lesson I learned was how to let go of the way that I used to do things and embrace a new way. And that was really present when we were discussing the outline and story. By the end, when we get to the roadmap or the North Star, I had come up with 2 different versions of how I thought could best tell the story.
She reads them both out loud. And then I ask her again, which one does your brain say? I was very clear about that. The whole time I was like, what does your brain say? What does your brain say? I said, which one does your brain say is more accurate? Right? That's the way we talk here. And she said, well, I really like the first one. And I said, that's not the question that I asked you. I didn't ask you what you like, which again, this is the heart of the whole thing, right? It was very clear. I was like, I didn't ask what you like. I said, which is more accurate? She didn't say anything. She deleted A. And I was like, oh, man. You know, it was amazing.
Yeah. I would have leaned into the more emotional side of it. And it's more simple than that. It's a straightforward goal. So it's going to be hard to separate those 2 things. But now I know it's possible.
I learned I enjoy reading about theoretical physics, even though I know nothing about it. Fun fact that I learned that I thought was really cool. Light, like the whole 500 meters a second thing, it's not actually real. That's always like the whole relativity thing is it always goes that no matter how fast you're going when viewing it. It, relative to me, is still going to go flying past me at 500 meters a second. That's how it actually works. That's confusing as hell.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so
are they saying that
no
light... So light doesn't follow the rules of relativity then?
Exactly.
Thank you very much, Pat. Super interesting. John Roberts, what did you learn last week?
Hi. So I watched the movie Mank, this new David Fincher film that came out on Netflix. I had no idea that he actually paid for like this entire village in Germany to move from Germany to the United States before Hitler like got really, really bad. And he told nobody about it. He did this just out of like the kindness of his heart. And that blew me away. And it really showed me that like people are not always how they seem on the outside. There's a lot more within, and they're a lot deeper than just the surface level of like their presentation to the world.
I would love it if we could all sit here and the takeaway would be like 2 things. One is like always gives people a chance. Like people are not their mistakes. Number 2 is that people change also. And let's not forget that. Which I think is why I'm so happy here, to be fair. And part of why the culture is built on allowing people to be themselves, right, John? Because we get to know each other. And we accept. And we don't judge each other. Because we all know we're weird. Sophie, what did you learn last week?
The thing that I've learned is I relish my alone time so much. I think, you know, having a sacred workspace is really important to me, and I love my setup in New York, but I don't think I realized how much I love it. And so I'm trying to frame this as that. And like, you know, of course, I appreciate my family. I appreciate this lovely house. I appreciate having more space and just studio bedroom. However, I am now even more grateful for my stand-up desk and my desk chair and my view and the peace. So that is something that I've learned this week.
One thing I will tell you from my experience, okay, it's very similar to how we do our puzzle piece storytelling. So the concept is very much like, if you put in all this creative energy up front and you lock in what you believe is your best self, the best story, okay, whatever it is, when your brain and your energy and your time is purely focused on that thing, then you can go back and trust that in that moment, the choices that you are making are far superior than whatever ones you're experiencing, right? Because now you have emotions and your mind is not in that place and you're letting everything else affect you, which is normal, which is why I like to have this like grounded, like we always say, we need to know the target we're trying to hit, you know, so that way we don't have to think too hard about it when things get tough. Thank you very much for sharing, Sophie. Mr. Brian, take us home. What did you learn last week?
All right. I found out that most animals are smarter than we think. I found this dog on Instagram that can talk, like with a soundboard.
Bunny on TikTok, right? I love Bunny.
He's so cool.
I guess it also goes back to the theme of the day. Do not judge a book by its cover. There's a lot out there we don't know. That is remarkable. So I appreciate all of your time, allowing each person to have a voice and sort of say what they're saying. I really do appreciate that, and I'm glad that you guys are here. We're going to work hard this week. We're going to focus on content. We're going to focus on 2021. We're going to focus on making sure the videos that we have left to put out are pristine. And we're going to sort of adjust our workflows to help each other make sure we get the most out of each other, yeah?